If you love someone for their looks, it's called obsession. If you love someone for their kindness, it's admiration. If you love someone for their money, it's interest. If you love someone because they love you, then it's called empathy. If you love someone despite their flaws, it's genuine acceptance. If you love someone through thick and thin, it's genuine commitment. If you love someone for their mind and knowledge, it is intellectual attraction. If you love someone deeply, even if you're apart, it's your emotional connection. If you love someone and prioritize the happiness over your own, it's selflessness. If you love someone for the way they make you laugh, it's humor-based affection. If you love someone for the shared experiences and memories, it's nostalgic-driven love. But if you're confused about whether you love this person, it's definitely love. If you find yourself caring more with each passing day, it's love growing stronger. If your thoughts are filled with them, even in their absence, it's love becoming constant. And if you can't imagine a future without them, it's love that has become a part of you.
Let's say you get in a situation and it's like, damn, what the fuck, what I'ma do? That motherfucker come laying right here on your shoulder and be like, we finna do this shit. I'm with you, my nigga. Let's do it. Like, real talk. Like, let's say you move out your full house and you kind of nervous or something like that, right? That motherfucker come laying and tell you like, nah, nigga, you got this shit. You got it. Don't worry about it. It's your land. You aboriginal to this land. Universal law. You give to receive. Universal law, you can manifest your desires. You really can. It'll tell you stuff like that, bro. You'll be like, yeah, man, let me lock in, let me get right, let me keep pushing. Like, real talk.
So this is why women are so powerful, because women, they have two morphogenetic fields on their body. They have a throat chakra. The throat chakra is what allows everybody on this planet to create their reality using their words and your intentions. You know what I'm saying? Your throat chakra. What they have say men have Adam's apple really should be called an atom's apple, because every word that you speak, it vibrates atoms, and atoms shift every word that you say. So you shift realities every time that you speak. So this is a morphogenic field because it causes timelines to collapse towards you, right? Women have two because they have a vagina. The vagina is another morphogenic field because it literally turns liquid light into an actual being. You know what I'm saying? The vagina is a portal from the spiritual realm into the physical realm. So with that being said, women are the most powerful beings on this planet. They could birth. Women birth things into existence. So anything that you can think of that you want to exist, it has to come through a woman. You know what I mean? Because they can create the being. You know what I'm saying? They can create actual races of humans. You know what I mean? Because they're morphogenic field, because they have two morphogenic fields. We have one morphogenic field.
John D. Rockefeller created the curriculum for the entire medical population, and guess what? He made sure that only the chemicals that his companies produce can be used to treat the illnesses. We still work under this premise today. Doctors never learn to cure anything. Statistically speaking, the suicide rate for doctors is the highest. And why is the drug and alcohol abuse rate amongst doctors also up there? It's very simple. These poor guys, they figure out over time that they don't have the tools to really cure the people. In the end, often they are the ones murdering the people. Doctors, they always start out well-intentioned. They want to cure people, they want to help people. But once they find out that no matter what they do, the patients either get better by themselves or worse by themselves, that's when the desperation happens. Share this video and follow for more.
Nobody see what's going on. Everybody getting laid off. Rent is high as fuck. Why is it kicking $4? Everybody broke except for like 2 people. Then we got people pretending to be those 2 people just to impress other broke people to hide the fact that they broke too. Something is happening and nobody is talking about it. A minimum wage job at the very least should allow allow for a basic lifestyle. But instead, people are struggling to have any lifestyle. Why does it make chicken $4?
If you smoke tobacco, you're addicted to the spirit of tobacco. That spirit has control over your consciousness. Smoking is witchcraft. Every plant has a spirit, a consciousness. Burning the plant releases the essence, the spirit of that plant. Inhaling the smoke is inhaling the spirit of that plant, which is infusing that consciousness with yours and making you become high. Witchcraft is not evil. It can be used for good and bad. Smoking the devil's lettuce can be used for good and bad. You invoke the spirit of the plant. If you smoke lettuce with a bad mindset, you're invoking anxiety spirit. If you smoke with a positive, high vibrational mindset, you open your consciousness. You are the magician. You are the invoker of the spirit. Smoking plants with no self-control will invoke the spirit to control you. If you're going to smoke lettuce, use it to meditate and access deep meditation, or use it in ritual to reprogram your subconscious. Whatever you do, never smoke on a full moon, and stop using it to escape reality. Use it to open up your consciousness or to reflect on your life and access deep thought. Doing it every day will just make you lazy and you'll get nowhere in life. The link is in my bio for the free Telegram for free content.
If you're only a good person because you're scared of what others may think or scared of punishment, you're no better than those you call bad people. A person who rejects their dark side and does not accept it does not know what they could become if they had none of those fears of rejection. Would you really be a good person if you allowed yourself to know your dark side? I think the only people who are actually good are those who acknowledge their dark side yet still choose to be a good person every single day. Those are real angels on earth because they're not good out of fear, they're good out of choice.
Have you ever eaten ramen noodles? Exactly. Here's the deal. New research from the Mayo Clinic is showing that it can increase the risk for metabolic syndrome, especially for women. And that can mean increased risk for heart problems, stroke, and diabetes. But researchers say it's not just ramen. Any instant noodle products could be putting you in danger.
So what's going on with ramen noodles? Well, for starters, ramen noodles are high in calories but contain almost no nutritional value, definitely making it an empty calorie food. More importantly, ramen contains a dangerous petroleum-based preservative known as TBHQ. TBHQ is used to preserve the shelf life of processed foods. Regular exposure to TBHQ may lead to brain damage, liver enlargement, and even increase your risk of lymphoma. So unless you're eating natural homemade ramen noodles, avoid this stuff at all costs.
The dark truth behind this kid's television show.
Teletubbies originated from something darker. We all know the famous kids' TV series The Teletubbies, but what if its origins isn't as innocent as it may seem? Well, you see, there is a theory that the show was inspired by historic events that happened in a Bulgarian mental facility dubbed La La Land, which experimented on psychotic children, isolating them in dark rooms, where they tragically lost their lives. It was said that the Teletubby Lala was based on a child who had a facial disfigurement, making her smile all the time. Tinky Winky was based on a deaf child, who was allegedly tied to a fence outside and suffered frostbite. Dipsy was based on a malnourished child that was constantly sick, and ended up lying in its own puke for days. And Poe allegedly was based on one that fell into a fire, hence the color. But it doesn't stop there. The reason for the TVs and the Teletubbies' bellies were due to the fact that these 4 children ingested the smaller television sets for safekeeping when they heard that La La Land was about to remove their televisions as a part of the experiment. So did you know that?
There'll be a moment when you realize you're 27, when yesterday you were just 17, and you won't be able to tell how a decade passed away and your life got divided into befores and afters. The fury of youth will subdue, and nothing will really change, but everything will feel different when you look at old photographs and blurry videos taken on cheap mobile phones. Scents will remind you of childhood and certain friends you don't talk to anymore. Hangouts will become reunions, and Mom's burnt pie will become the best food you ever had. And I know on some days you won't be able to show anything for those 10 years, but I hope you remember to breathe and let go of the knot in your chest. I hope you go out in the sun and live a little, because tomorrow is 37. Each passing year feels like a silent farewell to the innocence of youth, leaving behind a trail of bittersweet longing for the days when life seemed simpler.
So Blackstone, which is the mother of BlackRock, acquires Ancestry.com for $4.7 billion. This gives them the total ownership of all the DNA of every person that has ever used this service. Now, I've been saying this for years. If you be sending in your DNA to any of these services, you are incredibly stupid. Remember that big scam that was going on for those couple of years, and they were doing the nasal swabs? They wouldn't let you leave the airport without giving your DNA, essentially, and sending it in. Now, I find it really interesting that after all this was going on, they are trying to collect and analyze our DNA. I'm just thankful that I wasn't stupid enough to fall for this trap, because I can see clearly and use critical thinking, which most people lack nowadays. But yeah, this is very, very interesting. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Peace and love.
Did you know that a tree has to grow in two directions at the same time? It's growing down and it's growing up. And what's interesting, if you could see the part of the tree that's under the ground, it looks very similar to the part of the tree that's above the ground. The root system is very similar to the fruit system.
Crazy. I never thought about that.
The nature of a tree is that it is both gravitropic and phototropic. So gravitropic means it grows away from light and towards gravity. That's the root system. It's gravitropic in nature. So the seed goes in the ground, and then the tree starts growing down before it starts growing up. Now here's what's interesting. When the seed is under the ground, it's dark under the ground, it's damp, and it has resistance. The root system has resistance. It has to push through the dirt to go down further, right? Well, once it breaks through the earth growing up, there's no more resistance. And the part of the tree that's above the earth grows towards light and away from gravity. So the tree is growing in two directions at the same time. But if you're unwilling to go down, you cannot go up. That's just the nature of life. In nature, before anything can go up, it has to go down. What's really cool is all principles are microcosms of each other. So everything really just keeps proving everything else. Because truth is simple, it's lies that are complicated.
There's no such thing as junk DNA. Your DNA is turned off. This is all your DNA operating at different frequencies. This is all sacred geometry. This article talks about your DNA is an electromagnetic fractional cavity resonator. It's universal sensing and fractional antenna behavior. This means that your DNA literally connects you to the universe, what we call God. When you start looking at the cross section of your DNA, which is the middle column, not looking at the helix straight in, it's from the top of it. It actually gives us somatic frequencies, which are the same symbols that are used in our church windows. This is because our DNA connects us to God. There's no such thing as coincidence in the universe. These are all the somatic frequencies. That's the Catholic Church before it got corrupt. That's the Aztecs, the Egyptians, the Hindu, and that's even CERN, because you can use this for negative and positive. And it's all about harmony and disharmony. This is all of our DNA right here at different frequencies, and that's another church window right there.
The Goonies actor exposes Hollywood's secret.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
If you make a deal with the devil won't show up as the devil because you won't make the deal. It's likely to show up as sugar, liquor, porn weed pills. It might show up as a snooze button. Boop. Now watch your dreams get killed. It might show up as a late night out with your friends that overlaps into your morning routine. It might show up as a limiting belief that you are not yourself until you have caffeine. The devil never lies. It's a true master of disguise. Come on now. It's the temptations and contradictions, the hesitations and restrictions that keep the friction between our addiction and our mission. What you doing? You like being in that condition? Causing a contradiction in our conviction due to the deception of our depiction that leads us to our own crucifixion. What you doing? I can see your pride missing. So if you're trying to be a deal breaker with the devil, go ahead and comment. See what I see? And then get up, get over it, and get after it. Choose yourself and let's get it.
You're being poisoned! 6 toxic foods you must avoid. First up, pizza. It's a sodium bomb wrapped in refined carbs. One slice can pack half your daily salt intake, setting you up for high blood pressure and heart issues, not mentioning the lowest quality and processed oils and meats used in them. 2. Popcorn. Not the homemade kind, but those microwavable bags. They're lined with chemicals that, when heated, create compounds linked to cancer and thyroid problems. 3. French fries. These crispy culprits are double trouble. They're usually fried in highly processed inflammatory oils that wreak havoc on your body. Plus, when potatoes are fried at high temps, they produce acrylamide, a known carcinogen. 4. Muffins. They are loaded with sugar, unhealthy fats, and empty calories, setting you up for a blood sugar roller coaster and potential weight gain. 5. Donuts. Speaking of sugar bombs, these ring-shaped treats are a toxic trifecta of refined flour, sugar, and unhealthy fats. They spike your blood sugar, increase inflammation, and contribute to chronic diseases. 6. Instant noodles. Quick and easy, sure, but at what cost? They're high in sodium and preservatives. Plus, their packaging can leach harmful chemicals into the noodles. Follow for more.